Question 11. The act of recording a deed provides A. Constructive notice of ownership, B. Actual notice of ownership, C. Proof of ownership, D. An ownership lien. Correct answer is A. Constructive notice of ownership. Recording a deed in the public records provides constructive notice of ownership. This means that the law presumes that everyone is aware of the recorded deed, even if they haven't actually seen it. It's as if the information is out there and accessible to anyone who checks the records. This is different from actual notice, which is direct knowledge of something. A lien is a claim against a property for a debt. Recording a deed does not create a lien. It documents a transfer of ownership. Liens are separate legal instruments. Question 12. All of the following events will serve to terminate an offer except A. The offeror dies. B. The property is destroyed in a fire. C. The offeree rejects the offer. D. The offeror moves to another state. Correct answer is D. The offeror moves to another state. An offer can be terminated by several events, effectively ending the offeror's ability to accept it and form a contract. Moving to another state has no bearing on the validity of the offer. Unless the offer has a specific time limit, it theoretically remains open until it is formally revoked, rejected, or one of the other terminating events occurs. Question 13. One who provides an agent with authority to represent their interests dealing with another party is called an A. Principal, B. Primary agent, C. Title company officer, D. Escrow agent. Correct answer is A. Principal. A principal is one of the main parties to a transaction. For instance, the seller and buyer are considered the principals in a real estate property sale. A person who hires a broker to represent them in a property transaction is a principal. The agent acts on behalf of the principal in dealings with third parties. The relationship is based on trust and agency law. Question 14. A real estate broker can obtain a real estate license under a fictitious name if A. It is not misleading or would amount to false advertising. B. The name does not imply a non-existent corporation or partnership. C. It is not a name previously used by a licensee whose license was revoked. D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. All of the above. Real estate brokers can operate under a fictitious business name, also known as a DBA, doing business as, but must adhere to specific rules to ensure transparency and avoid misleading the public. All the conditions listed are typically required. A. It is not misleading or would amount to false advertising. The fictitious name cannot misrepresent the nature of the business or mislead consumers. B. The name does not imply a non-existent corporation or partnership. The name shouldn't suggest a business structure that doesn't actually exist. C. It is not a name previously used by a licensee whose license was revoked. This prevents brokers from trying to resurrect a tarnished reputation by using a previously revoked business name. The license name can also not include the word escrow or imply that the licensee is offering escrow services. Question 15. If a broker does not include a termination date in an exclusive listing, which subsequently results in a paid commission, then the broker may A. Have his license suspended or revoked, B. Lose the listing, C. Have his commission forfeited, D. Be prosecuted for fraud by the Attorney General. Correct answer is A. Have his license suspended or revoked. A real estate licensee who undertakes an exclusive listing must comply with several obligations detailed in California Business and Professions Code, Section 10176. In many jurisdictions, including California, real estate licensing laws require exclusive listings to have a definite termination date. Failing to include this date is a violation of these regulations. While the broker might still be able to receive a commission if the property sells, the lack of a termination date puts their license at risk. Serious or repeated violations can lead to legal action. Simply omitting a termination date in an exclusive listing is unlikely to rise to the level of criminal fraud. It's more likely to be handled as a licensing violation by the Real Estate Regulatory Agency. Question 16. California requires a resident manager or responsible person on the premises of any apartment complex with A. 5 units or more, B. 16 units or more, C. 25 units or less, and or a pool D. 100 plus units. Correct answer is B. 16 units or more. California law requires a resident manager or responsible person to live on site in any apartment complex with 16 or more units, if the owner or landlord doesn't reside there. This requirement is in place to ensure that there is someone available to handle day-to-day operations, tenant relations, and emergencies. A resident manager generally oversees maintaining the property and grounds, as well as collecting rent and handling communication with the tenants. Question 17. At what point in the contractual process does an option likely become enforceable? A. The offer of an option has been communicated from the optionee to the optioner. B. The optioner has received an offer from the optionee and decided to raise the consideration necessary for the granting of the option to $5,000. C. Having received the offer, the optionee has delivered $1 of consideration to the optioner. D. There has been a meeting of the minds. Correct answer is C. Having received the offer, the optionee has delivered $1 of consideration to the optioner. An option contract, to be enforceable, requires consideration, something of value exchanged, from the optionee, the potential buyer, to the optioner, the potential seller, for the right to purchase the property within a specified time frame. Even a small amount of consideration, like the $1, makes the option binding on the optioner. They cannot sell the property to someone else during the option period. The optioner cannot unilaterally change the required consideration after the offer has been made. The terms of the option, including the consideration, are set when the option is offered. If the optionee accepts the original terms, including the original consideration amount, the option is binding. While a meeting of the minds is essential for a regular contract, an option contract specifically requires consideration to be binding. A mere agreement or understanding without consideration does not create an enforceable option. Question 18. The Sherman Act prohibits different businesses to working together to exclude a competitor from the real estate market, a practice known as A. A group boycott, B. Price fixing, C. Market allocate, and D. Unfair advantage salesmanship. Correct answer is A. A group boycott. Price fixing is an agreement between competitors to set prices at an artificial level, eliminating price competition. While also illegal under the Sherman Act, it's a separate offense. Market allocation is when competitors agree to divide a market among themselves, each taking a specific geographic area or customer segment. This is also illegal under the Sherman Act. Unfair advantage salesmanship is a vague term and not a recognized legal term related to antitrust violations. While unethical sales tactics might exist, they don't necessarily constitute a Sherman Act violation unless they involve collusion or other anti-competitive practices. A group boycott is when two or more businesses conspire to refuse to deal with a third party, effectively excluding them from the market. This is a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act because it restrains trade and competition. Question 19. A lawsuit based on a written instrument such as a real estate contract must be brought within of the making of that instrument. A. 1 year, B. 5 years, C. 8 years, D. There is no time limit. Correct answer is B. 5 years. A lawsuit to recover title to real property must be brought within 5 years. Question 20. Good neighborhood schools, a nearby park, walking trails abutting the property. These features are termed A. Perks, B. Home boosters, C. Amenities, D. Enhancements. Correct answer is C. Amenities. Amenities are features of a property or neighborhood that add to its desirability and enjoyment. Amenities can be tangible, such as a pool or gym, or intangible, such as proximity to a supermarket, good schools, parks, and walking trails.